All right, so let's dive in. Looks like you've been uh, doing some digging into outdoor living trends, and you've hit on something really fascinating.
Yeah, definitely a fascinating shift.
It's not just about, having a bit of grass out back anymore.
It really is.
The piece you shared shows how outdoor spaces are becoming true extensions of our homes.
Yeah, it's not just mowing the lawn anymore.
Correct.
It's about creating a living experience that flows seamlessly from inside to outside.
Exactly. And this piece highlights how functionality and sustainability are becoming super important, especially in Europe.
Yeah.
You know what caught my eye? This company, Hongmao Garden.
Hmm.
They've been working on this stuff for almost 20 years.
Yeah, they seem to have a real knack for understanding where the market is headed.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting to me is how they're responding to the demand for eco-friendly materials and products that serve like multiple purposes.
Yeah,
That's huge, especially in urban areas where space is at a premium.
absolutely. It's
I
like the ultimate work smarter, not harder, applied to outdoor living. But let's get specific.
Okay.
They mentioned these storage boxes, but they're not your grandma's plastic bins, are they?
Definitely not. These storage boxes are designed with what they call a green touch.
Okay,
Think storage meets vertical garden.
I like it.
It's a clever way to maximize space while bringing in that touch of nature.
And speaking of clever balls, they have these mailboxes with solar-powered LED lights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who wouldn't want a softly lit mailbox greeting them at night?
It's about adding those subtle touches of convenience and elegance, but it's also a great example of how they're integrating sustainability.
Yeah.
Solar power, even in small applications like this, makes a difference.
For sure. For sure. Then there are the raised garden beds. These aren't just about aesthetics, are they?
No, not at all.
They're designed to help plants thrive.
Exactly what makes these beds so effective is the built-in drainage system.
Oh.
It's designed to mimic natural water flow, which promotes healthy root development and ultimately healthier plants.
Interesting.
They've really thought about both form and function.
So they're not just selling products, they're creating an entire ecosystem for your backyard.
Right.
But what really intrigued me was their approach to business.
Okay.
They seem to put a huge emphasis on working directly with procurement managers.
Yeah.
It's all about partnerships for them.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway here. They're not just pushing products, they're developing customized solutions.
Yeah.
And this is where their OEMO-DM capabilities come in. They can adapt their designs and even their branding to meet the specific needs of their partners.
Wow.
Essentially, they can become a white label manufacturer, providing a seamless experience for businesses.
That's a smart strategy.
It is.
They're positioning themselves as the go-to for anyone looking to break into the European outdoor living market.
Yeah.
And they're not messing around when it comes to quality either. All those certifications, REACH, BSCI, TUV, IS 9000, those aren't just for show.
You're absolutely right. Those certifications are a clear signal of their commitment to meeting high standards. REACH, for example, ensures their products meet European Union regulations on chemical safety.
Okay.
It's all about building trust and demonstrating their commitment to responsible manufacturing. And it doesn't stop there. They even have local support in Germany to ensure smooth communication and efficient service for their European partners.
Wow.
It's all part of a long-term vision.
And speaking of vision, they seem to always be looking ahead. Voice-controlled systems, expanded solar-powered features, exploring even more sustainable materials. They're not resting on their laurels.
Yeah, what I find so fascinating is how they're weaving together technology, design, and sustainability. They're not just responding to trends, they're shaping the future of outdoor living.
It makes you wonder, with all these advancements, is outdoor living becoming less about escaping technology and more about integrating it thoughtfully?
It speaks to a broader trend.
Yeah.
Outdoor spaces are no longer just about escaping the indoors. They're about enhancing our lives in new and innovative ways. And as we'll see, personalization plays a huge role in this evolution.
That's a great point. I'm excited to dig into that more.
Yeah, me too.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back to unpack this whole idea of personalization.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's unpack this idea of personalization. It's a buzzword we hear a lot, but what does it actually look like when it comes to outdoor spaces?
It's a great question. For me, it boils down to intentionality. It's about moving beyond the cookie-cutter approach and creating spaces that truly reflect the people who use them.
So it's not just about, buying a matching patio set.
Right.
There's more to it than that.
Absolutely. It's about understanding how you want to use the space, what kind of atmosphere you want to create, and what elements will bring you joy.
So where do you even begin? I mean, for someone starting from scratch, it can feel kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, I'd say the first step is to ask yourself some key questions like, how do you envision using your outdoor space? Is it primarily for relaxation, entertaining, maybe a bit of both? Or do you dream of an outdoor kitchen, a dedicated gardening zone, or even a space for like working or creating?
It's like designing an indoor room, but with the added elements of nature.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of design, how much does personal style come into play?
It plays a huge role. Your outdoor space should be an extension of your personal aesthetic. Do you gravitate towards bold colors and bohemian vibes? Or are you more drawn to minimalist lines and a sense of tranquility? Whatever your style, there are ways to bring it to life outdoors.
I love that. So it's not just about functionality. It's about creating a space that feels authentically you.
Exactly, and it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive.
Right.
Sometimes the simplest touches can make the biggest impact.
Give me an example. What are some simple ways to inject personality into an outdoor space?
Think about incorporating elements that tell your story. Maybe you have a collection of vintage planters you can showcase.
Okay.
Or perhaps you're a travel enthusiast and can incorporate textiles or artifacts from your adventures. Even something as simple as a brightly painted bench or a repurposed birdcage can add a touch of whimsy.
It's about those little details that spark conversation and make a space feel unique.
Right, and don't underestimate the power of DIY projects.
Oh, yeah.
Building a simple trellis, creating a mosaic stepping stone, or upcycling old furniture can add so much character and personality. Plus, it's a great way to get creative and save money.
And if you're into gardening, the possibilities are endless.
Oh, totally.
You can create a vertical garden using recycled pallets or turn old tires into whimsical planters. I saw someone turn an old clawfoot bathtub into a stunning herb garden the other day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's all about thinking outside the box, or in this case, outside the planter. And speaking of sustainability, that's another key aspect of personalizing your outdoor space.
You're right. It's not just about aesthetics. It's about making responsible choices that benefit both our personal spaces and the planet.
Exactly. And there are so many ways to incorporate sustainable practices into your outdoor design. Using reclaimed materials, planting native species, and incorporating water-saving features are just a few examples.
And it's not about sacrificing style either. There are tons of sustainable options out there that are both beautiful and functional. I've seen outdoor furniture made from recycled plastic that looks just as chic as traditional wood or metal.
Yeah, and think about the benefits of incorporating edible plants.
Oh, yeah.
Creating a small herb garden or even planting fruit trees can not only enhance your space visually, but also provide you with fresh homegrown ingredients.
It's like bringing the farm-to-table concept right to your backyard. And speaking of bringing things closer to home, have you noticed how people are incorporating those cozy indoor elements into their outdoor spaces?
Well, absolutely.
Okay.
Outdoor rugs,
Yeah.
comfy cushions, fire pits, even outdoor curtains. It's all about creating those inviting nooks where you can relax and enjoy the fresh air.
It blurs the lines between indoor and outdoor living, doesn't it?
It does.
It's almost like bringing the comfort of your living room outside.
Exactly. And lighting plays a huge role in creating that ambiance. Think string lights, lanterns, solar-powered spotlights. They can transform your outdoor space into a magical retreat, especially in the evenings.
It's amazing how lighting can set the mood, whether you're going for a romantic vibe or a festive atmosphere. It really adds another layer to personalizing your space.
Right. And don't forget the power of sound.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's wind chimes, the gentle trickle of a fountain, or even some well-placed outdoor speakers for your favorite music sound can add another dimension to your outdoor experience.
It's about engaging all the senses
Yeah.
and creating a truly immersive experience. This goes way beyond just setting up a couple of chairs and calling it a day.
And that's the key takeaway here. Personalizing your outdoor space isn't a one-time project. It's an ongoing process of creating a space that evolves with you and your needs.
So it's okay to experiment, try new things, and let your creativity flow.
Absolutely. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's all about having fun and creating a space that brings you joy.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover new passions and interests along the way. Maybe you'll become a master gardener or a DIY furniture guru.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting. It's a journey of self-discovery, creativity, and connection with nature.
I love that. So we've talked about personalizing our outdoor spaces, but how does this all tie into the bigger picture? Does this trend have implications beyond our own backyards?
It definitely does. If outdoor living is becoming this integral part of our lives, it's bound to have a ripple effect on how we design our cities and communities.
You're hitting on a really important point. If our homes are expanding outward, Shouldn't our urban spaces evolve to reflect that? We need to think bigger than just individual backyards.
Exactly. We need to think more broadly than that.
So what are we talking about here? More parks and green spaces.
Well, that's a great start, but we can go further.
Hmm.
Imagine cities where buildings incorporate rooftop gardens and green walls. Picture walkways shaded by trees with benches nestled among flowering vines.
Yeah.
Think about courtyards and public spaces designed for community gatherings and outdoor activities.
It's like bringing nature into the heart of our urban landscapes.
Exactly, and it's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
Research has shown that access to nature has a huge impact on our well-being.
Really?
Yeah, reduces stress, improves mood,
Yeah.
even boosts creativity. Imagine the positive impact this could have on our communities.
So it's not just a feel-good thing.
It's not.
There's a real benefit to bringing nature into our cities.
Absolutely, and it ties into this growing awareness of sustainability.
Mhm.
Green spaces help clean the air, reduce noise pollution, and even mitigate the urban heat island effect. It's about creating a healthier, more livable environment for everyone.
It sounds like a win-win situation, but how do we actually make this happen? It seems like a massive undertaking.
It is, but it starts with a shift in mindset. We need to view outdoor spaces as essential, not optional. And we need to advocate for policies that prioritize green infrastructure in urban planning.
So as individuals, what can we do? Besides, planting a few more flowers in our own yards?
Well, there's a lot you can do. Support local initiatives to create more parks and green spaces, advocate for bike lanes and pedestrian-friendly streets that encourage people to get out and about, shop at businesses that prioritize sustainability and eco-friendly practices. Even just being more mindful of your own consumption habits and reducing your carbon footprint can make a difference.
It's about recognizing that our individual choices contribute to a larger collective impact. We're all part of this ecosystem, both literally and figuratively.
Exactly. And remember, enjoying the outdoors doesn't require a huge backyard or an exotic vacation.
Right.
It can be as simple as taking a walk in your neighborhood park, having a picnic lunch in a green space, or even just stepping out onto your balcony and taking a few deep breaths of fresh air.
It's about finding those little moments of connection with nature wherever we are.
I love that. And as we've explored in this deep dive, those moments can have a profound impact on our well-being. It's about reclaiming that connection with the natural world and recognizing that it's not separate from us, but an essential part of who we are.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation as we wrap up. What's the key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
I think it's this. The future of living isn't just about smart homes. It's about creating smart, sustainable, and nature-connected communities. It's a vision that starts with each of us in our own homes and in our shared spaces.
I love that. So as we venture out into our own outdoor adventures, let's remember that we're not just creating personal spaces, we're shaping a more vibrant and sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come.
Beautifully said. Now go out there and enjoy the fresh air.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.